Let me tell you some problems with Rutherford and our flooding situation. As you can see here, this is a playground, and the playground is flooded out with some really nasty water that's never going to get cleaned, and it's even getting in on the wood chips that the children will play on. Fun. Well, Rutherford has seriously had a draining problem because the Christiana Hospital built up all these water systems and stuff like that, and all that water from those parking lots of the hospital drain into our little neighborhood called Rutherford. And right now it's actually not too bad. Well, I'd like to say it's not too bad. But there's some storms where this entire road is completely underwater. That's my backyard. It is, for some part, underwater. Water's getting closer to my house. There's no way to fix this draining problem because the infrastructure in Rutherford is already under a lot of pressure, and the only way we would be able to stop it is if Amtrak opened up a bridge they built back there for their train tracks. Of course, they said it would be too expensive to do that, and Amtrak doesn't like working with communities anyway. Here's something interesting. It's hard to see, but there's a tree that fell back there. That tree was leaning on another tree, and for every single day for the past few months, people have been calling the power company, telling them there's this tree leaning on this other tree, there's this tree leaning on the wires, and power company kept saying, oh, we'll do something about it, we'll do something about it. They never did. It fell, it crushed somebody's backyard, destroyed their shed, broke the fence, torn off some power lines. Fun. This is my backyard. We've had significant water flooding problems. The hurricane that we had a few years ago made it up to almost to our windows. Thank goodness it actually didn't get through our windows. But several other houses in our neighborhood got completely destroyed. Every year, it seems like 2 other houses get condemned for being flooded out, and then the banks buy out those houses, and we sell them to other people who have no idea about the flooding situation, and it happens over and over again. You can see here, the water is pretty much coming up through these drains, but that's not the only source. It flows through the whole backyards of everybody on this street, goes through here, eventually meets up with the street over there. A few years ago, we were actually blamed for this flooding situation because of those plants over there. We spoke with the county several times. They said that wasn't the problem, but you have neighbors that are very upset and very scared about the whole ordeal. A house down the street got foreclosed on a little bit ago. Oh no, it didn't get foreclosed. Well, technically it did because they abandoned their house after it ended up underwater. You see this cone here. Interesting story about this cone. A little bit ago, probably a month ago or so, a sinkhole formed right here. So we told the county about it. It's hard to see, but it's nonetheless a sinkhole. I will fall if I stick my foot in there. County put this cone over it, and we never heard from them again. Called them today. They're like, oh, there's a work order put in for it, and they're like, we're not going to be able to do anything today. Meanwhile, the water keeps flowing closer and closer to my house, and since we're not a flood zone, haha, we can't get flood insurance with our insurance plan. So we have to buy flood insurance separately, which we don't actually have the money for. You guys ever have a realtor, don't get Keller Williams. The realtor that sold us our house, Keller Williams, knew about all this stuff and significantly pressured my family into buying our house. And shortly after, we realized there was a huge ton of problems. We were pretty much under the same influence that some of these other people were. So yeah, everybody in this neighborhood is stuck because nobody wants to talk about this flooding problem. I'll upload some other videos if it gets worse. Hopefully it doesn't, because I really don't want to have to get my basement underwater. But welcome to Rutherford, Delaware. Zip code 19713.